People who make jabs at Nintendo for being too kiddie obviously haven't been playing the games. The newly released Mario Power Tennis is a fantastic example of this. Here's a game that is, in a word, adorable. But under its gingerbread exterior lies a deep and challenging game of tennis. The game is incredibly easy to pick up and play, especially if you've been playing Topspin, Virtua Tennis, or the original Mario Tennis for the N64. Because of the wild visuals and some of the insane mechanics the game adds to the mix, it's not immediately obvious the great lengths Mario Power Tennis goes to make the fundamental tennis mechanics incredibly realistic. On top of the core gameplay, Camelot has added some really wild mechanics. Each character is outfitted with a pair of unique super moves, one offensive, one defensive. The defensive move always serves the purpose of saving a shot that you're too far away from to hit. The offensive super moves, however, have a bit more variety. Some characters just put a lot of power behind their swing, making the shot very difficult to return. Others put a wicked curve on their shot, making the trajectory incredibly difficult to predict. These super moves add an extra level of strategy to the gameplay, and they add a ton of personality, but each time you activate one, you're forced to watch a little canned animation sequence. These mini cutscenes dramatically affect the pacing of the game, and it would have been nice if you could just skip past the animations and keep the wild moves. The game also contains a collection of gimmick courts, each of which adds its own unique spin to the gameplay. The gimmick court we found the most technically challenging was the Gooper Blooper court. Built right over a body of water, the court surface is built out of panels with arrows on them, and when the ball lands on a panel, it will cause that panel to move, either expanding the size of your opponent's court or shrinking it down and exposing the water underneath it. This doesn't limit your opponent's ability to move about, but rather, it changes the area that you can legally hit the ball on. Tennis game players may already be used to having to account for whether they're playing on clay, grass, or artificial turf, but the gimmick courts in Mario Power Tennis raise the stakes on the impact of the environment on the gameplay. Occasionally, the gimmick courts can get a little too busy, like the Luigi's Mansion court, which is filled with translucent ghosts, but in general, they're fantastic at keeping the game fresh and fun. Mario Power Tennis is broken up into a few different modes. There's a standard exhibition mode, as well as a tournament mode split up into regular matches and gimmick court matches. Ensuring that no players are left behind, Mario Power Tennis includes several different control types tuned for different skill levels. Similarly, the AI in the exhibition mode can be adjusted pretty extensively. If you've played a lot of tennis games, you may find the AI in the standard tournament to be a bit forgiving for most of the matches, though it ramps up pretty suddenly at a certain point. This significant shift in difficulty can be jarring, but it's not insurmountable, and if you find it too frustrating, it's a good reason to check out the game's collection of skill-honing minigames. One of the most attractive points of Mario Power Tennis is the fact that just about every mode in the game can be played with 4 players. Mario Power Tennis is an incredibly attractive package for those looking to kill some time with friends. The quick pacing and the variety of gameplay styles mean that a group of 4 players can play for 5 minutes or an hour and come away with a great experience either way. The game backs up its rock-solid gameplay with outstanding visuals, which are crisp, colorful, and technically sharp. Most importantly, though, the entire game is absolutely brimming with personality. The gimmick courts really stand out, doing a fantastic job of recalling other Mario-related games. The Luigi's Mansion court is a great example, with that familiar eerie green glow and the strangely translucent ghosts, with the mansion itself ominously sitting in the background. As for the character models, I don't feel bold in saying that these are some of the most detailed, sharpest looking, and most well-animated versions of many of these characters to date. You might not always be able to tell when the camera is pulled way back, but when it zooms in for the instant replays, it is downright impressive. If you think that you're too cool for Mario Power Tennis, get over yourself. Yeah, Nintendo may be making a concerted effort to appeal to a younger audience with the aesthetics, but it hasn't forgotten about the adults either. Mario Power Tennis is a shining example of Nintendo's family gaming philosophy. It's such an expertly crafted, well-rounded package that goes well beyond appealing to just Nintendo fans or just tennis fans. It is a suitable game for players of all shapes and sizes.